Vienna Spring Break 2024. ULTI.TV's coverage continues with the women's semi-final. We have Catchup from Graz taking on East Block of the Czech Republic. It's Benjamin Rees and Stefan Rapazzo for a game that has all sorts of intrigue, Steph.
It does indeed, Ben. Both these teams been very good, obviously, to get to the semifinals. In any tournament, you have to. East Block undefeated throughout the tournament. Catchup have dropped one, but have been very good. In fact, they've dropped two along the way, Benji. As much as they've impressed, they have had a more interesting path. Tell us a bit about that path, Benj.
So, you mentioned East Block undefeated. Pretty convincing winners of their pool. In the end, I had that, and it's completely gone. There we go. Game starting. 12-7 over MUC, 15-5 over Mantis, and 15-3 over Transylvania, which we streamed yesterday before they beat Terrible Monkeys in their quarterfinal, 13-5. Catchup, we streamed their first game yesterday, a commanding 15-6 win over Troubles. They then went down 12-7 to 3SB and went down on Universe 9-8 to Fabulous, but they came second in the pool on a three-way tie, and they made the most of topping that three-way tie to seal the second quarterfinal spot as they upset Box Vienna 12-7 to book their place here this morning.
A big upset indeed. Box have featured in the final the last 2 years here. A kind of cross-town, cross-country rival going on there that Box has been getting the better of over the years. So a huge win for Catchup yesterday to find themselves here in this semifinal, taking on the Czech powerhouse East Block.
And East Block beginning on offense here, wearing their marine blues. It's the, I think we called it the red wine coloured jerseys from Catchup. East Block starting in, well, a very East Block fashion. They're going for these quick little 2-yard passes, trying to keep it moving. Nothing really too adventurous, maybe a couple of slices through here and there. They've got a little bit of route to work with, dished off to Tlusta. Now Chladíková, Majerova to Shvetsova. Managed to stop a little bit of the momentum now. Tlusta finds a seam inside. The wind nowhere near as fierce as it was yesterday, and East Block happy to take these couple yard passes all the way down the field into the end zone. Tlusta to Shvetsova for the 1-0 lead.
Yeah,
that is classic East Block.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, I can do nothing but reiterate, Benj. We had a small analysis with our camera operator, producer here, Felix, yesterday. He was admiring what Tlusta does in the midst of a lot of these short passes, motion offense, the way she looks after she gets the disc. She's doing more of this. Her eyes are back to where the disc came from more often than not. She does not have that automated head-up field look that so many do playing Ultimate, particularly those getting passes. But when all the passes are strung together like that and you've got a cog like Tlusta in the middle of it, just always with her head back to where the disc came, the quickest, easiest option always in her sights, it really facilitates a great motion offense ability.
Gonna now get a chance to see what Catchup can do out there. Sandra Keneally, who picked up a foot injury at Spring Invite, coaching this weekend as a result.
Yeah, we'll hope that she's back. She'll hope that she's back, but happy to take on the coaching role while she's unavailable.
Ball fielded from the floor, and the first pass is centered. Felgic, downfield. Maya Odna fakes. Brechko clears through as the disc reset to the center. Trying to manipulate the mark around as the break. Felgic doesn't catch cleanly, but does catch. Showing the inside. Wants that throw, doesn't see it, so tries to open it up deep, and East Block had it covered all the way.
Yeah, Hadova had to do very little, almost thrown right to her, but in very good position to get the defense.
Moving it before the catch-up defense can get set, but they are in position now, going 1-to-1. Hadova looking deep herself, trying to track that one over the top. Coverage was tight enough to prevent it from going into Hodacheva's hands.
And again, we're in another game where, you know, you guys watching at home, if you've been following along game by game, that wind is pushing right to left on your screen, and particularly defenses will be happy to shoot.
Felgic comes underneath to start. Not seeing a huge amount going on downfield. The throw is going to pop up and hit the turf. Hadova getting it in play quickly. Here's Lichocka. Oh, bobbled, and it wouldn't quite stick into Dvořákova's hands.
Yeah, good defense by Brečko there, getting a hand in there and making it spit out.
Brečko looking for the break, just eludes everyone. East Block picking up quickly again, as is their want. Hadova, the centering pass too low. Brečko picking up once more. Getting out wide there, finding Gröger. Not seeing an option she likes downfield. Handler clears through and it opens up the swing to Maya Ortner. Now Brečko. Brečko unleashes. She's looking deep. She's looking for Justik. And Justik sticks the catch. Now pivoting across into the end zone. Felgic has it for the score, and we're knotted back up at once.
What a finish for Catchup to end that point. Brečko took it upon herself after Catchup had a little bit of space at the midfield mark, gave that big backhand, beat the wind. A incredible catch by Justic, as you said, and Felgic gave a beautiful option to just throw it up, let it sit in the wind, and a great score. You know, they worked a bit harder. There was a few turnovers in that point. East Block used their motion offense, ding, 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 ticked it in cleanly. A dirty hold, but a hold is a hold to start the game. Getting those points on the board is all that matters.
Especially in that direction.
Of course, those upwinders are very, very important. Not giving up early breaks, very, very important in a upwind, downwind kind of game.
How important, Steph?
Very important, extremely important to not give up advantage early. It can lopside the game. The longer you can stay in this, especially for Catchup, who are probably playing up here. Advantage to East Block, probably the tidier team. They don't want to be playing from behind.
Yeah, European quarter-finalist and the reigning champions here, East Block. Kluster with the offhand to Lepši. East Block already moving it to midfield, Svetsova. Getting it back again. You look at East Block and it seems so simple with no pass really longer than a few yards, but it's so effective. Hrušáková. That one all had Svetsova off balance, but she makes the adjustment. Hrušáková and Tluster bouncing it between one another. Tluster again, combining well with Hrušáková on this point. Svetsova all just out of the hand at the last moment. Catchup with an opportunity. Pop down the line. Not seeing separation downfield. Going for the swing all. That required a real stretch, but it's well reeled in by Lina Ortner. Tluster picks it off. Wants to get rid of it as quickly as she can. Svetsova provides that option. Svetsova into the backfield. Lepši to Tluster for the score, 2-1.
Yeah, the Ortner grab there was so good to keep the possession alive for Catchup. And then on the ensuing throw, Tluster, known for her offensive ability, the European Offensive Player of the Year, takes a beautiful run through, a nice step, and gets the D before they pop it back in. East Block getting the job done. The one thing I'll say about here is that a beautiful catch, and now we're going to see that D coming the other way. Where is Slusta? Just cat-like there. You see her coming, sniffing it out, and beautiful takeaway before the assist. The one thing I'll say about the East Block offense when they are in the midfield with lots of room, there are 7 players in a very small box right now. There is some potential to get congested. They need to have just a little bit more space to make that machine work as perfectly as they'd like.
And that's one of the reasons I think why they've teamed up with coach Valerio Ianni this season, is to probably help some of that spacing, because as you mentioned, it can get very congested. And just going back to that block as well, the interception there from Talista, the angle the cut develops from sort of behind those kind of players in the stack there, it means that she sees the handler sees the cutter coming through, but Talista's kind of, especially because she's diminutive of stature, much like myself, is that she's kind of a little bit hidden there. So by the time you realise that she's advancing on it, you've already thrown it and it's too late. Here's Brechko. Taking on the break. And finding Kreitz. Now Brechko putting the trigger once more, the throw blading, and well, created the little post box for the clap catch, and it was sent right through them.
Yeah, unfortunate inability to make a big play on the receiving end there. Now chance for East Block to break.
Janska. Kopfova. East Block, again, they play with such pace and such tempo, but the risk of that is that sometimes you can get a little bit ahead of yourself, as Janska did there on the overthrow. Felgic, though, is going to want that one back as it pings off the hand. Janska picking up quickly. Catch-up defenders swarming in, but that's a lovely offhand, backhand. The deep shot went from Lihodska, and as soon as she released it, she kind of had her hands up in exasperation because she realised that I should not have done that. It's a lovely little offhand here. The cut comes through, and really creative way of accessing the space. But the deep shot to no one in particular.
All said, Catchup starting from their own coffin corner with the wind in their face. A semi-favorable place to be playing defense from, especially if you get a right hand up and a hand block like that.
A glorious opportunity for a downwind break here. Hodacheva takes it to the front of the end zone. Can't get anyone free in that space, so they're going to have to go backwards to Janska. Janska getting it off the line, giving themselves a little bit more lateral space to work with. Catch up with a good red zone stand. Oh, that was dicey, but Janska recovered. Kopfova.
Dicey again.
This is a really good red zone stand from Catchup. So many passes, having started on the end zone line, but eventually they break through. Dvorakova makes it 3-1. East Block with the game's first break.
Breakthrough with the break. That was a bend and eventually get broken. They worked hard to keep them out. As you said, the defense did tighten up in the small space. A couple bobbles on catching efforts, a couple poorly released throws, and still the bounces seemed to go in favor of East Block, with Catchup throwing as much as they could at them. They still couldn't keep them out of the end zone. So a big early break. I did say it was how important, Benji? Very important to keep.
I think you even went to extremely.
Extremely important to keep those breaks away early in the game. They've now given one up. They are going to have to play from behind, and that is going to be difficult against a team like East Block. They can play defense well, but their offensive line is very, very stingy, and especially if they can be playing offense going downwind now.
Youngverse will pick up. Centers to start, and Johanna Dor doesn't have a connection. Apologies everyone, by the way, for the sirens you heard coming over the stadium loudspeakers. Happened yesterday as well, and we're still not quite sure exactly what it's about, whether they're just testing them out. So East Block having their D-line now working against the wind. And Talister found a little seam. The inside throw came, but couldn't close her fingers around it in time. Draining the deep shot and then popped downfield. Alder had the most beautiful inside-out flick huck yesterday. Faking the around. Trying to activate and then clear through Youngvert. I don't think he's going to be able to accelerate to this in time. Shvetsova intercepts. There's the underneath option. Well handled, that riser there. Khrushchakova. Trying to open up the deep option. Talister tracked it, came back towards it well, and then you could see the disc variation in the height as she was getting there. Couldn't close, and now the deep shot going the other way. Khrushchakova all over that one.
Yeah, I think Alder did a very good job to keep that out of Slusta's hands. A very last minute hand through to pop it away. Picked up, sent to goal right away. East Block are going to get another chance, but I think Catchup, because of Alder, had that opportunity to throw to goal.
Looking a little bit isolated, still count rising, so putting some air underneath it. Youngvert got a nice beat on that one early. Uses the frame to go up and pick it away. Pops that one up, tip round the corner, and then slapped to the floor with that left hand by Lepshi. Shvetsova picks up quickly. Oh, off the hands. Going to give it back to Catchup. The wind, by the way, has definitely kicked up a notch in the last few minutes. And that's why getting that break early on just, I think, really plants how crucial it could be, because going against the wind is going to get tougher and tougher. Lovely break side flow there from Catchup. Nothing East Block could do. And they cut the lead to 1-2-3.
Yeah, good hold by Catchup that they eventuated after a couple chances. In the end, it worked out when they had a very short field. A one-throw offense gets the job done to that break side. But as you say, Benji, with this wind continuing to pick up, we know from yesterday it's going to be a similar weather condition. It is going to go right to left. It's only going to get stronger as the day develops, and finding a way to break back is going to get more difficult, particularly as mentioned with the East Block offense going with the wind at their back for the time being until there is another break, whether it's East Block or Catchup that can provide it. Offenses are going downwind, so they should be getting more efficient.
Yeah, while the wind wasn't as strong, getting in as many upwinds as you can, because when it comes, it's tough.
Thanks to all you at home watching. Love seeing you in the chats. Love to get a little bit of like button thumping out of you. Hit the bell, subscribe, and check us out on Patreon as you enjoy this game.
Yeah, none of this happens without your support. As foul called early on, I think just a clip of the heels, and quickly accepted. Forcing the inside through, Zitova now. Turns, wants the reset and has it. Hadova pops off towards the far side. Hadacheva, all the way across. Liotska, popping that one up, but intercepted. Brechko, surveying her options. Squeezing it tight onto this sideline for Kreitz. Kreitz forward to Brechko, creating some separation on that up line cut. Brechko trying to squeeze it in there again, and somehow finds the gap. Through into the end zone and intercepted, and East Block wasting no time in getting it back in play. Really good offense against the wind there for so long by Catchup. As good high release there, but
yeah, as they're talking
on the mark.
They're going to talk about that Brechko throw was so good up line, Benji. Picture perfect. Evaded the defense, accounted for the wind, a beautiful throw. The next one right into the D, and now you see East Block coming back, and that's a bit of a shame, but here they keep coming.
There's the deep shot. Trying to play some field position. They had separation there with Hadover, but it races away. A little bit reminiscent maybe of their compatriots 3SB in utilising the elements and playing a bit of the field position.
There is some potential that there could be an all-check final later today. Of course, East Block would have to get through this one. 3SB on the other side playing Germany Masters. We'll keep you updated if we know anything more from that one as well.
Felgich on this sideline. Guns it forward into space. Pansy. Took the option and then towards the end zone and just too far. Catchup have come mighty close to getting that break back, but they haven't yet managed.
Boy, oh boy, have they ever. Both those times, that looked seamless all the way upfield. The option into the end zone, not the perfect one and taken early, but otherwise, good looking upwind action.
That one through the center of the field. Good awareness to be knocked down.
A short field now, Benji, as far as the upwind chances have gone.
Yeah, the wind has eased off and abated somewhat. Felgich tries to find the option through, got the hands underneath. Did Pansy. But Stalkout rising now, gunning for the goal. Reeled in. That's Maya Odner. And we are back on serve at 3 apiece. And East Block taking a timeout here, Steph.
Wow, a great point by Catchup. They showed it 3 times that they could cut the wind, that they could move in that direction. On that last one, Pansy, a heck of a job keeping the disc up. There you see the goal scorer, Maya Ortner. But I thought Pansy did a great job keeping it off the turf here. And then a very high stall count throw for goal right here. There would have been at least beyond 6, I'd say 7 or 8 by the time this went up. And a beautiful throw to the corner there, right in the numbers. Catchup are right back in this one, Benji. They've got their break back and they're making offenses go upwind. This is a time to get potentially 2 breaks in a row.
Yeah. 3 all tied here in this women's semi-final matchup at Vienna Spring Break. I'm going to steal a bit of MUC's pizza.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Back in action here.
Only just back in action. MUC pulling out all the stops. Pizza for the commentators and crew. What more could you ask for? Well, how about a cracking semifinal matchup between East Block and Catchup? We're enjoying it. MUC on the sideline enjoying it. We know you back home are enjoying it. Benji, it's taking its twists and turns. And It's a pick 'em at this stage. Again, East Block, we've given the advantage from the get-go. They've been better all weekend long. They are a team that had a better year last year, but Catchup are making them work early in this game.
Yeah, East Block in the early ascendancy, but Catchup picked their moment to fight back, earn back that break, and now Gonna be applying a little bit of pressure here to the young Czechs. Sitting the ball deep on the wind downfield. Talusta picks it up with a couple of bounces. Well, sorry, I should say Hadova picks up and then finds Talusta, but back with Hadova now, utilising the offhand, backhand well. Kind of switching up their lines a little bit, but some slight confusion there. And Catchup with an opportunity to put in their third point on the spin. High release backhand, faked from Daniela Satina. Now Johanna Dor. Into the centre, oh, tipped off the hands. There's going to be a second effort, is there? No. Khrushchakova pats it to the floor.
Yeah, tough bounce there for Alder. Can't squeeze the hand. Mag chance, and now he's blocked. Go again.
Hadova, back to Talusta. Talusta sees a space where she wants to hit that deep option. Well tracked and reeled in by Hodacheva. Almost just shoveled it into the stomach there, but the catch sticks and there's a pick downfield.
The trap catch, just stick it to your body one way. If it's a forearm or a wrist, anything in this wind, just make sure it sticks to the body.
Everyone just going to get into position.
About 7 meters out, far sideline, east block bench.
Checked in. Talusta goes up line, but a really good work from the force there coming around to stop it. They go back and Hodacheva collects once more. Now Hadova just a couple of yards out, and with a defender on her back, still able to punch it in to Talusta for the clean hold.
Yeah, great combination there. Hadova, Slusta, they often play on opposite lines. As far as it's gone this weekend, I think post timeout they identified a must-score upwinder, and two of their top young players, I mean they're all young players over there, but two of their top players connect. Hadova with great concentration on the backhand, even with the contact from the mark. Johanna Dor bumped into her, she's falling down. Great concentration, great work by East Block to be able to score after the timeout.
That's a very good example of a timeout having exactly the intended effect. Doesn't always work out that way, but switched up the lines a little bit, coolly and calmly marched it against the wind. Job very much done. And it looks like they're keeping, if not the same line, a very similar 7 out there. I think they want to earn this breathing room and that downwind break back. Sitting out the backhand on the wind from the pool. Catchup now in a central position. Have to spread it towards the wing and then bounce back. Otner on this side. Oh my word, that throw really accelerated out of the hands. But good awareness and adjustment from Otner to catch and keep herself in bounds. Maya Otner was getting a little bit congested and trapped on the sideline, and Talusta made it look like that throw was meant for her. Dvorakova centres. Hodacheva towards the end zone, perfectly weighted, in stride. Khrushchakova makes it 5-3. And it's turning into a game of runs here, Stefan.
Yeah, that's what made that last upwind break so important, was the ability to put the pressure on. The wind is right back up. You mentioned earlier that there was a bit of a lapse in the wind and it died off a bit, but they got the upwinder there and capitalized on an error. They put a lot of pressure on the throw on this near sideline corner. The throw went astray, as you said, nearly as though intended for Slusta. In the corner, and you're going to see that coming up right here. A lot of pressure, and as the throw goes, Slusta eats it up, and then a short field at the wind at your back. The 2 in a row for East Block. Again, a result of the upwind break that they worked even harder for, and then just capitalized on one mistake to get the downwind.
East Block pull beyond midfield. Catchup now with the wind at their backs. Nice initiating cut there underneath from Lina Ordner. And now a catch stuck well with the right hand by Johanna Dor. Dor with the low release off the knee, I think, in the end. Daniela Satina couldn't drop those hands quickly enough. Shvetsova. You could hear the stall count up at 9 by the time it's released. All sorts of bodies underneath it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone aggressively took that space. The throw warranted enough time for a lot of people to get under it. They're going to decide how that shakes out. But it seemed like they all got there in good time, all had set feet while the disc was coming down and just went up for it. It's turned over. There's a violation now being indicated upfield, even though the hands weren't clenched, as we learned from Benji yesterday.
You are correct. So getting a block on the high stall put downfield. Can Catchup do better on their second chance? No, not this time. Satina again. That throw sank, dropped so quickly, she never had a shot of it. But Catchup doing such a good job of throttling those shorter options. Eventually they find Klobishkova in space on this near side. Another stoppage. Game's struggling for a little bit of fluency.
Yeah, they are. The upwinds have been... East Block are really trying to trap him on this sideline, make it tight and close, and tough work for Catchup when they get the disc. Now East Block's upwind. Let's see how they go, Benji, if they can space out.
Well, it looked like they'd found a way through that front line and were moving it quickly. But Kristova has one bounce off the hand on the far sideline. Third possession this point for the Austrians. Utilising the dump swing well towards this near side. Can't quite find that last scoring pass though. Taking the reset.
And that one does look like it has made it in. Nice finish. The pop pass with an angle that we've seen a few times in earlier games. Guides in as gently as possible with this wind at the back. And a nice layout for the pickup, Benji.
Expertly executed there by Catchup. I think there's a bit of a discussion about some of the maybe physicality during that point, but it's not going to affect the score. I think players just having the discussion to try and clear things up in future. Taking a proactive approach to things.
Everybody friends, low fives on the way off the field. Of course, the pressure, the onus, if they want to feature in the final, is pushed back over to Catchup here. They need the upwind break against this high-flying East Block motion offense. But we've seen them generate in both directions. Turns have availed themselves in both directions on the pitch. The opportunities will come. What will they be able to do with those opportunities is what we're going to be keeping a keen eye on with some play-by-play and color analysis, Benji, as per always.
Slusta picks up just inside her own half. And goes back to Hadova. Well, the elder of the two Hadovas anyway. Looking quite congested there. Can they break the mark? They can. Pladikova downfield, Solicitor a little bit frustrated. I think maybe she was clipped on the way through.
Yeah, I think Pansy did just try and keep on moving to cut off the throwing lane on the far side of the field, but did end up grazing and running through Slusta as that happened. Slusta not too happy. Foul accepted though.
Good use of hand signals. Well done, everyone. Solicitor towards the far side. Again, utilising the throw and go so effectively. Hadova a little bit isolated, but then activates Hladikova. And now Zitova. Being very demonstrative with her fakes. Wanting to access that soft spot on the far side, but the disc sails over the top.
As good a defense as I've seen on Slusta this game. They put Pansy on her there after the bump too, and Pansy did a very good job limiting her.
Still count rising. Brechko tries to fit it down the far sideline. And, well, they make it work. Maybe not how they drew it up, but it did stick. That's the important thing. And now in the hands of Kreins, who puts deep. Going to be good pressure, and pressure's good enough to get the block. Excellently defended there by Lihodska.
Yeah, Lihodska took it away. You saw Ortner kind of spinning around, trying to steal back the position that was won by Lihodska, but Lihodska won that battle there and maintained what she had originally retained.
Now it's East Block's turn to find some backup. Lihodska shooting deep, way too deep, but hey, at least it's down the other end. The wind's been, I think, a lot more blustery and inconsistent today, and you don't want to give a short field at a moment when actually, you know, it's not that difficult to go in that direction, and you know, you give them the break in that direction without too much trouble. The centering pass, though, greedily gobbled up by Hrushakova. Faking, trying to find a way through. Solicitor a couple of yards outside. Wants the inside break, doesn't see it, but doesn't need it. Cutter comes through towards that open side. Janska makes it 6-4.
Yeah, big ups to the spark plug super team representative Kristina Slusta there, bouncing off that front pivot foot while staying patient and really making the mark and the coverage guess which way she's going to go, while availing herself time to kind of see the right cut. She only waited for 2 cuts to pass, and the second cut into that corner was wide open, an easy throw made, but she motioned for at least 3 or 4 throws in the mid there. She is faking, but working that jab step, working the right arm motion for the fake throw. It's really making everybody guess, but for her, maintaining composure and taking the right option late in the sequence, at the right moment in the sequence, not late.
East Block just keeping themselves with their, maybe slightly more than their noses in front, their heads in front. Catchup take the first pass central to Sitina. Motions players closer towards her. Nothing happening. Ljungberg clears out, wanting the break. Doesn't have enough on it to collect with Alden. Now Shvetsova. Offhand, backhand into traffic. That's an excellent catch. And then blading it around the defender into the arms of Fadacheva. Kopfova getting her money's worth on this point. This one, that is going to be a foul. The throw bladed early out of the hands. Receiver was able to get it, and Ljungberg, I think, thought there's a chance that she could bid on it, and then couldn't stop herself quickly enough and ended in a bit of a crash landing.
Yeah, some heavy impact. You can see the grimace immediately. She does walk off of her own volition with her sister guiding, but yeah, that was heavy. Foul called, accepted. I think it was a tumble there, but yet we'll hope that she's going to be feeling all right, but certainly took a fair bit of impact there to make that play.
Gliss is going to come on as a replacement. And immediately getting heavily involved, as you might expect. That one tipped, it's going to flutter up and land into Jungwirth's arms. Foul called though.
Yeah, I think on the reception there was the high one that bounced off the hand before the Mac. I think on that play is where the foul's being called to see the... no, not on that. It's on the reception after the Mac. There is where the foul is being called.
I think Kopfova is saying that there's contact on her back and she's trying to go up for that one. It's the younger Hadova who was the player who was injured in that collision. Going to take a, while they're having this discussion that's taking place on field. MUC, who again, huge thank you for giving us the pizza. I see one of them has done a beer run.
A beverage run. I'm not actually sure those are, I think they are soft drinks.
Okay. We'll give them the
They've got a bronze medal match coming up.
Yeah, but taking advantage
of a ginger ale or something. It is deceiving. Deceptive.
You know what? Giving it a closer look, actually, I do think you're right.
No head.
Sorry?
No head on those drinks.
I think I'll pass for now. We are back in play. It was an accepted foul. Zlista runs a 1-2 there with Shvetsova. Now Catchup trying to trap on the sideline, but doesn't quite work when a player can find that space on the open side. And East Block work it upwind, 7-4. Just beginning to pull away from their opponents now, Steph.
Yeah, that's a big score there after the injury by the Hadova Jr., the walk-off. Slusta comes in, injects herself right away, gets a huge upwind score, and good to see they get some vocal contact with Hadova right after the play. She gives a little bit of encouragement that she's doing all right, but she's still in some strife. Not sure we'll see her back in this game, but she is responsive and happy enough to let her team know she's okay.
Now, I can't quite see the scoreboard on the other side for what's going on in the other semi-final between the German Women's Masters and 3SB.
It says 9-3.
9-3? That's a very fast-paced game if that's the case.
That's what the scoreboard says.
Couldn't tell you precisely who would be up in that one. 3SB are probably the favourites, but you never know. Game's not played on paper. Brechko, I think, doesn't want to risk the drop ball there, so he's just going to let it hit the floor first. So the wind whips up once more. Some fearsome gusts here in Schwechat. Finding the little path through. Catch-up, it's slow progress, but it is progress.
Slow progress.
It rises, and that's a really good second effort. I think she's been able to keep that back foot down. She has indeed. That one wanted the disc, but the run through searches and surges from Lihotska, who's warmed up sufficiently to take her trackies off. Shvetsova. Now Hadova the elder. Running the 1-2 there is Hadova. Happy to utilize the relief fouls of Shvetsova when needed. Punching it shot to Janska. Janska offhand back to Shvetsova. very impressed with her performance today. Svetlana doing tireless work underneath, and then gets wide, gets low, gets the disc out into space, and that will take us into half. On the score, it's 8-4 to East Block.
Yeah, great run through D there to get things going for East Block. Lichocka got that started, and then in true typical fashion, they got the wheel turning and worked that one into the corner to take half.
Yeah,
East Block looking strong.
Zitova on the reception in the end, as you mentioned. 8-4 up, a little bit of thinking time required here for Catchup, I think. See that Sandra Keneally, who's coaching for Catchup this afternoon, having a little bit of discussion. I think this might be about what we're doing off the pool. And obviously we change ends and change the puller and the receiver after the opposite of the first half. So actually, East Block going to be going downward to begin the second half as well. We'll see whether Catchup have a response in mind. 8-4, East Block leading at halftime in the women's semis here at Vienna Spring Break.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
Catch up for East Block 8, the halftime score here at Vienna Spring Break Women's semi-final action for you. Benchiris alongside Steph Rapazzo. And East Block, I think, good value for this so far. Trading a little bit early doors, back and forth, and East Block have been able to really establish themselves on top now.
Yeah, they really have. They are doing it. They're sticking to their guns, their style. They are just, taking their time with it, slow progress as far as the game goes. And I jammed in a slow-gress there, but they are just taking their time and waiting for the right moments. They're not rushing anything. We haven't seen them really open up the deep game, even in this wind one way. Yes, they're not against it. They've shot once or twice in the game, but they're sticking to their offensive principles, taking what's available, first available option, closest option when they get the disc, and Catchup are having a tough time getting it back once the team in blue get going.
Catchup receiving going upwind to begin the second half. Eusti. Towards the near sideline, the disc is going to go up the edge. I think it's going to take this away from everyone and out of bounds. It does.
Yeah, they're... What I said just before we got in, where East Block is stuck to their guns, Catchup is being forced to kind of work it upfield in what seems like a bit more of a hurry. And if the upwind hucks aren't working, they get themselves in sticky situations. Credit to East Block.
Getting it off the line well there. Khrushcheva, players down on the centre, but she's okay to continue.
Full splits.
Impressive flexibility there from Shvetsova. I think I'd have taught about every muscle, including ones I don't even have anymore. Here's the deep shot. Khrushcheva's got behind the defense, And East Block can go long when they want to as well. Khrushcheva is there, and they break to begin the second half. 9-4 now the score.
Yeah, wow. You know, I said they stick to their guns, and they're not shy. When it is open, they will take it, and it makes it that much harder to defend. Catchup are really forced to stick tight to the unders to try and defend what they're doing best. Christina Slusta just doing an impersonation of the splits there in their huddle. But because Catchup has to respect their short game and their unders so much, when they do streak deep, they're gonna get some open looks. And when they're that open, they're not going to be shy to take them. The East Block is looking very sharp right now.
That's always the risk, isn't it, when they play this such quick, short starters, that you want to get everyone up front and involved to try and get as many bodies as you can to stop the short passes. And when you do, of course, that leaves spaces elsewhere, like in the end zone. Felix is having a good chuckle to himself from Cam 1.
He is.
As that ball blades and rolls back towards, and it's going to keep going.
Ends up being about a 6-meter pull.
It's better than I could do. That's not even sarcasm.
A very favorable catch-up roll.
First pass doesn't see anything downfield, so just going to center. Satina. Still count must be ticking up, and they're able to find a way through for now. But again, slow grass outside the end zone.
So proud of you, Benji.
Thank you. Credit to Catchup because they're recycling it well. They're maintaining possession, but it took them a while to force it over. Eventually, though, they find the pass from Alda to Satina to get on the board in the second half, 5-9.
Yeah, boy, did they need that, a gift of a starting possession. Still had to chip away at it. Nothing given by the East Block defense, but they're a very much a saving catch for the possession. Finishing touches on the job there, but they needed to take advantage of that. 9-5, Benji. What a way to make a living for Catchup here, trying to play catch-up against this East Block team that has looked very shiny throughout this tournament, and in this game very particularly. They've got a lot of work to do, but again, if they're going to be given opportunities like that, well, they're doing the right thing so far by taking advantage of them, by walking that one in.
Yeah, Catchup trying to emulate their open counterparts by booking a place in the finals. Catchup, of course, will take on 3SB in a match that kicks off at, let me do maths here, or just look at the schedule, 1:30 local time.
I can confirm on the other field, I saw the scoreboard flip after a score. It is 11-4 now in favor of 3SB.
East Block will start at the halfway mark. Catch-up men going with that foot block, hand block chant again. East Block will try and shut out the noise. Just pinball style, back and forth, bumping it off each other. Shvetsova. As they finally get a bit of width off the swing. To the oddly socked Khrushcheva. Little pop through, Khladikova. And never more than a couple of seconds. Continual effort. Just to make sure that you're never holding the disc for too much. Shvetsova. Now to Lister. Doesn't matter how many passes it takes. They will constantly force you to adapt and adjust. Here's to Lister. Showing the offhand but shelving it. Catchup closing in well, but not quite well enough there. As Lister punches it to Hladikova for 10-5 now.
And you can say like it was decent defense. It was pretty good. They stayed tight, but it didn't really ruffle East Block. They don't mind tight defense because the way they play can find small holes, reset the clock every time. Even if they take 1 meter backwards, 1 meter sideways, 2 meters to the left, 2 meters to the right, they don't mind high pass counts. And even though that feels like progress defensively, making them really work it, nothing given easy, it's still not ruffling the feathers of East Block. They are still poised, going and taking that pass count from 6 to 8 to 12 to 16. Of course, the more throws you make, there is a higher percentage of turnover, but they do have a good comfort level with this mounting pass count.
Does not faze them in the slightest. Some zone coming out from East Block now. High release to get it over the top, and has to be an adjustment on the far side, but there is. Door to Satina, who's saying, why isn't the cut coming at this point? This is when we want to be moving the disc and taking advantage. That's a little bit behind Keinsmeyer. Lihotska to Kopfova. Lovely feather through of the inside flick, then the deep shot, well tracked, but Padova had too much to do in the end. She tried to make the adjustment when she saw which way that disc was going to fade, but it's too little too late.
Yeah, great inside throw earlier in the sequence by Kopfova. Really good in this win to spot the inside break and then execute the throw for goal. A little bit more lofty, a little bit more of a hope, but still a chance for Hadova there.
And the turnover is going to come for East Block again on the short field. They will at least be pinned on the sideline. But instantly squaring up the hips, pivoting to get off the line into the centre. And Janska maybe getting a little bit over-eager there. Be accused of avarice as that one's blocked. And the deep shot the other way from Catchup, who just think, I do not want to be here in the slightest. And if in doubt, boot it out.
Yeah, I don't mind that one bit at that stage of the possession of the point. They tried last time a short throw to get it out and gave up a near chance against. This time, get it right the heck out of there as it floats. Portner breaks that one up.
Yeah, there's going to be a discussion about this. The foul is going to be called. I think it probably always was going to be, but just showing the hand signal there to confirm it. Went with the offhanded Janska and didn't go where it was intended, but was still almost caught. I think it's Lena Ortner who's the defender. It is the number 24.
Indeed.
For Catchup. Foul accepted. Productive discussions there. Game being played in good spirits. Inside throw again. Dvorakova. Dvorakova on the halfway line, breaking around. No timing of continuation, so they're redirecting the flow of traffic. But all Lihotska can do is watch it squeeze its way through her fingertips. Overthrow though, looking towards the far side from ULTI. Swung, chased down by Hodacheva. Nice rising take there, Fladikova. Downfield, and East Block, I think, feel that they're losing some of their rhythm from an offensive point of view and taking the opportunity here just to get that mental reset off the timeout. (10-5), East Block lead Catchup.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
Vienna spring break, both sides breaking their huddles off this timeout. East Block will have the disc, looking to break against the wind to, I think, all but sew this one up. They're already up 10-5. This would make it 11-5. And it's getting late early here for Catchup. Just under 20 minutes left till the end of game. Horn goes 80 minutes games today as opposed to the 70 minutes we had yesterday. Benji Reese alongside Steph Padso. Steph, what do you think East Block were saying in the timeout they've just taken?
I think they were saying precisely what you had suspected before they took that timeout. Hey, let's get back to what we do well. Let's get back to what put us in this favorable position. Run and gun, keep this disc moving, and no taking the foot off the gas.
Setting up in quite a hexy shape. There's the deep shot that was underdone. And Marlin Keinsmeyer with the emphatic denial, but the swing easily gobbled up by Lehotska, who read it and undercut it. And Lehotska into the end zone. Oh, the wind just bladed it slightly too early. And East Block have let Catchup off the hook. If that one goes to hand, this game might be as good as done.
Yeah, are they going to punt it from here, or are they going to try and work it out?
It feels bad to you know, bring it up, bring it to the front line, and then just play the field position. But you wouldn't hate it.
No, you kind of understand.
Layout required on the far side, but it does keep it up. Got that front three determined to try and stop the big shot going. And that is why, because they figure that if they can force enough swings, the error will come. Poaching to cover the up line cut means the swing's available there to Zitova. Zitova, lovely around break. Hadova towards the end zone. It's going to rise again, but this time they can get hands round it. Lehotska makes it 11-5 to East Block. And I think they can see that finals place.
Yeah, they certainly can. A great fill there by Zitova when Hadova went up line from the handler's space to charge for the scoring cut right from the first throw of the possession. It was well defended. Second defender came. But Zitova filled the space perfectly. Hadova crossed field again, got it again, and that fill set up the goal. And that is what what their offense and emotion offense in general is very good at doing. Not having, very fixed positions. They will say, okay, there is a space there. Somebody left that space. Now, who is closest and available to reoccupy?
Well, it's like those sliding puzzles you used to get as a kid. The ones like the 4x4 squares, and there's like one square that's empty, and you slide it round, and when you leave one space, you slide something else in, and eventually you get like a funny face. It feels a lot like that.
It does indeed. Indeed, Sustavo String wonders the score on the other field. It is still 11-4. It's been a long 11-4. I thought it was game over, so they may have been in a long timeout, or maybe even a spirit timeout, but this is speculation. But it's been 11-4 for a very long time.
I think this is just the wind playing havoc, because must admit, I didn't see any extended stoppage over there. East Block getting the quick turnover. Solicitor can't go through. Resets their feet after the travel. You can see again, Catchup employing that sag off the handlers just to try and stop downfield movement. Oh, it pops up, but second attempt, she has it. Bit of a curve on that one, but the curve doesn't have enough to get it to Shvetsova. Catchup getting it in play quickly as well. Don't want to allow East Block to get into a good defensive setup. Dish short to Brechko. Got such a range of weapons as a thrower. Easy for me to say. But that one down the far sideline, you can see when you show that edge what the wind wants to do with it. Turn it over. East Block with a second chance this point. Hladikova to Shvetsova. Shvetsova utilising the offhand, furrows the inside channel well. Solicitor throwing and going with Rushakova. Shvetsova turns to activate the reset. Again, the offhand, backhand, proving very fruitful. Hladikova into the backfield, low. Did Shvetsova keep it up?
I thought yes. Initially, I wouldn't mind seeing it again. There is a MUC player on the sideline with their hand up who has an opinion.
Because of the sideline in the way, I did not get a good look at it. It's all going to be about when she established the control.
Yeah, I mean, hands clamped and then the disc touched the ground. Was it controlled when hands clamped, or was it still finding control? They're saying it was controlled.
And that one into the end zone off the hands of Solicitor, and it motors through the back of the end zone.
What do they say about that disc?
It's a piece of plastic that has no opinions or emotions.
That's exactly what I was referring to, Benji.
Yeah.
In any sense, it has gone to Catchup, turnover on the ensuing throw.
I mean, the disc doesn't lie, but in the sense that it also doesn't tell the truth, because it's just a bit of plastic.
It is just a piece of it. It doesn't tell anything.
But technically correct is the best kind of correct. So we all know.
That was a very close call, and I think well resolved, and a turnover the result, and now the hammer the other way gives the same turnover result.
I like Brechko trying to get creative and find ways to unpick the East Block defense, but that one was not it. I must say on the up-down call, my initial instinct was up, but it was really close. Felgic now finds a way through. Pansy downfield. And the clap comes from Kleins, but the disc doesn't stay. Klister, the miscommunication there with Shvetsova.
This is a short upfield chance now, Bench.
His stick picks up quickly. Felgic looking towards the end zone. Is she going to pull the trigger? Was thinking about the inside and decides against it. Breaks around instead. Now Kleins into the end zone, and she finds the way through. And Catchup are not giving up on this one. Why would they? With a little over 10 minutes left, they still believe the comeback is on. They're down 11-6 though.
They're down, but they're not out. The unexpected, the improbable there was the better part of that point. It seemed like East Block was going to do what they kept doing. They've been grinding their opponent down. They were near the end zone there, but couldn't find their way in. And after a mistake at midfield, finally offered an upwind chance with only a half field in front of them. And hey, you know, if they can do it again and get the 2 for none, get the upwind break, capitalize on a downwind mistake, 2 in a row, they're still a ways out, but they will generate some momentum at that stage. If they can play this 1 point at a time, you never know what can happen. It is just a nice little spark for them. Hey, let's keep our heads up and keep playing. You never know what can happen if we just stick with it. Just keep focused and keep playing no matter what the grand result may seem to be leaning towards.
So East Block out on offense against the wind here. Nice cut, comes upfield with a bit of momentum behind it as well. Janska opens up the arm, gonna drop right into the lap. Dvořáková, back to Hadova. Now centers and Tadacheva looks for the end zone. And I'll tell you what, wind? What wind?
Yeah, got the mark turned inside out. They move very quickly there. You're talking about the potential to maybe capitalize on an error and go downwind for a break. Well, the wind did drop off for just a second, but at the same time, East Block cut through what wind was remaining and recognized what they gave up the point before and made amends. They got their offense clicking and cranked it right back up the other way.
He talked about Catchup needing to have a 1 point at a time mentality. As a coach, as a leader, as a player, how do you make sure that that mentality comes across and that players stick with it?
Like all game long? Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I like to break it down into thought process and jobs. Like no matter what happens, what is your next job to do? And go do that job. If you are having any emotional response, can you erase that by remembering what your next job is? Simplify what you're about to do. Okay, I dropped it. Okay, put my heads in my hand. No good. That's not my job. Okay, find the defender. Go do that next defensive job. And it is tough. The mental preparation is a long, vast project. But in its most simplistic terms, find your next job and do it.
Now it's Catchup turn to work against the elements. And they've already worked it comfortably beyond midfield. Brechko's got the swing available, which he takes. Cetina down the wing, and with the wind having died down a bit, we are seeing what quality these sides possess. Keeping the disc moving as they shuttle towards that far sideline. Only a couple of yards out now, right on the end zone line, pretty much. Brechko keeps it moving. One pass in, and a clean hold for Catchup as well.
Hey, right back at it. 12-8. Or is that 12-7 already?
12-7, I believe.
Yeah, Felix is
yes,
fast
12-7
score counter. With all his strengths behind the camera there, he still gets the score counted within seconds of it being clapped in. But yeah, great response. The wind has died just a touch, but both those possessions going upwind, very impressive displays, Benji.
Again, when either side gets into a little bit of rhythm, they are able to get the disc moving before their opponent's in position. You know, they can make it look relatively rudimentary, in all honesty. But against good quality opposition, obviously, that's easier said than done. But it's not just about trying to do what you can do. Obviously, your opponent has a right to try and stop that. Hits the floor just before Hadover. And the first pass to Christina Tlusta. Svetsova wanted the little dish off, but it was well covered. A couple of players now cut for the reset, and it's going to be a pick.
Upline cut as the foul called on it. They are, I see it, all I see is that it's coming in on 0. So whatever it was accepted.
So there's the floater, tipped and then smuggled away by Ortner. I think that's the 5-minute hooter that caught me very off guard there. I didn't hear the 5, I just heard minutes, but I know that is 5 minutes. Here's the deep shot towards the end zone. That is a break for Catchup. Finally able to get a downwind to go with their upwind offense as well. And look, they've still got a lot of work to do, but that is a very good start, 12-8.
Yeah, 2 in a row is 2 in a row, putting it against this team that's been putting you to the grindstone all game long. Finding some late game form is great to fill the sails, is great to keep you going, to keep you wanting to fight for more. And you got to give it to Catchup for hanging in there and working for every little bit despite the time remaining, 4 minutes left. Anything can happen, Benj. You have to score the last point to win. The closer you can be by the time that comes, the more pressure put on to the team that needs to finish the game off. Of course, scoring the last point, always a difficult feat in tight games. That's what we love about Ultimate, having a big lead, having a slight lead, feeling comfortable towards the end is all good and well, but you gotta put in that final nail to finish the jobs, and that gets more difficult in the pressure moments.
Yeah, you can't just time a stall out here. You have to keep going, and you have to finally get yourself over the line, and it makes this late game comeback potential so engrossing. Pool falls just before the halfway mark. Hadover strides towards, and then finds Janska on the underneath. Janska shooting for the end zone, and Janska shoots offline.
A early sequence turnover, another breath of wind into the sails, perhaps.
High one, but pulled down. Now, Keinsmeyer, who probably looks a little bit cold with the snood pulled up around the ears. As Catchup moving the disc well, back in the hands of Keinsmeyer. The riser doesn't reach the target. Kluster trying to curl that one around the deepest defender. Janska goes to floor just in case, but she can't get it.
Doesn't curl all the way back. That one over the fingertips of Pansy, and Slusta was there to steal it away. And again, those two, I've been really enjoying the battle that they've been having out on the field. Pansy, a very speedy defender to try and limit Slusta.
East Block forced the swing across the field, and it's always tricky when it's over your head. You lose sight of it a little bit, and you're trying to track it as it goes away from you. East Block will pick up and try and get things going quickly. Svetsova looking for an option. So good at utilising those offhand backhands. Svetsova again. Thought they were going to try and take the jam through the centre, but no. Cooler heads prevailing here. That one, what a wicked low release that was. Underneath the mark, utilising the wind span well there, Hodacheva. And East Block now 13-8 they score.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the development of that play, but I'm forced to reiterate what you said about Hodacheva's lengthy pivot there. And it was a beautiful outstretched backhand to get around the mark. Did it in stride. There's another look at it there. That throw is commendable. And a few minutes left before cap, is that right, Benji?
I think just the one, or less than at this point, 30 seconds or so.
So we're gonna play to 14 or 15. If Catchup can dictate the length of the game, they'd like it to go to 14. That means they're gonna score one here. But we're getting to that pointy end. Big advantage for East Block. We see on the other field, it's still 12-4, so 1 point has been scored. Tightened up defensively, become more difficult to score with the weather conditions, as you likely hear. The indication of time is over. Finish this point +1.
Yeah, so it'll either be 13-9 game to 14 or 14-8 game to 15.
And a very high potential now, we can say that it will be an all-Czech final. If Catchup can pull off the miracle, if Germany Masters can pull off the miracle, it's still, those miracles still available to happen, but looking good otherwise, that these Czech teams will clash in the final.
Breczko fires the flick across the field, and then Satina. They're able to just take a few yards every time they work that cross-field movement. Picks a head up, sees the path through with the swing, and now they can run a little bit of gauntlet down that far sideline. The jailbreak comes to a close. Justik. To Breczko. Catchup moving the disc well here. Just keeping it shuttling, trying to keep those stall counts low. But with space now at a premium, can they find a way through? What a sensational snag that is from the very highest tier from Sophie Alder.
Oh, goodness gracious. Alder started the game off in yesterday throwing with excellent throwing value, putting up some big bombs, and then showing it on the receiving end there too. That was a incredible layout. That means we're playing a game to 14 as well, but beautiful bid in the end zone to give her team one step closer to locking things up. That said, hold chance to win it coming straight up with the win at their back for East Block. So it will need to be how many breaks in a row, Benji? As we have another look at that, this bid.
5 in a row now. And you look at it and think, it's definitely on, but is it overthrown? Not when you can do that.
Wow, what a play by Alder.
Putting a body on the line for the cause. Five on the spin, Catchup need now. And 3 of those 5 breaks will have to be against the wind as well. It's a very tough position, but who knows, maybe you get the first one in and then, okay, now we're going downwind, and then all of a sudden do you put that seed of doubt in East Block's mind?
A lot asked just to get to that seed planting.
Shvetsova has just shredded with those inside offhand forehands. Kluster. Going into Shvetsova. Wanting to get it out quickly, but can't. The flow, the tempo, momentum stopped. Gonna sit a little bit, but not a problem for Shvetsova. And now Lihotska. East Block trying their level best just to get that pace rocking and rolling once more, and Lister down the line for the win. East Block are going into the finals.
Sluisted ahead of her for the finish there. Tough to stop in any sense, even tougher to stop when they get the wind at their back and a berth in the finals awaiting them. They earned every part of that victory. They earned that berth into the final. They've been great for the weekend. They continue to dance their way into celebration with this Czech stomp of theirs. And it's going to be an exciting match in the final. All but assured they'll be playing 3SB. And, you know, after this match, seeing what they're doing, I am really looking forward to the final, Benji.
Yeah, I cannot wait. But before then, 2 more games to come. Of course, the Open final, but first the Open bronze medal match, an all-German affair with MUC taking on Frank N, and that takes place in a little over 5 minutes' time, so that gives us just enough time to say thank you very much for tuning into ULTI.TV's coverage of Vienna Spring Break. Reminder to like, subscribe, get notified, all that good stuff, and check out the Patreon as well, patreon.com/ULTI.TV to help support growing the cause of Ultimate and ULTI.TV. And on behalf of all of us here in Vienna, Felix Schadlow on the camera and on production, Stefan Rapazzo alongside me, Benjamin Rees. The final score here, 14-9, East Block triumph over Catchup. We will see them in the final a little bit later, but in the meantime, ULTI.TV will see you on the other side.
Thanks.
Yeah, Milan. I mean, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
Baby, you know